I love, 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 love talking about societal issues. And it's not because I want to bring drama or problems to my channel. I do it to bring awareness to the complex interactions between social, political, cultural factors that identify a whole nation or maybe just an individual. I generally like to talk about topics and issues that affect all of us. Issues that could disrupt our social harmony, fairness, well-being, and we don't want any of that. But I also like to bring more light-heartedness and lightweight into it, basically. So on that note, let's check out this day or today's social drama.
Well, it all unfolded on video. Deja Banlane whipped out her phone when this all happened. Now, the Lyft driver, he was kind enough and apologetic, but refused her a ride and said that she would not fit.
Because she was huge. We all know what she is talking about. It is not new. It is about this rapper girl who was too big to fit a Lyft ride, and the driver just denied it and said, no, you ain't coming in. And she's like, but I can. But he said, no, you can't. And then she decided to sue him, and let's see what happens after.
And that her weight couldn't be handled by his tires. Now she's filing a lawsuit. Have you been in cars that size before?
Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that, you know?
Yeah, how big is she? Like, whoa, oh my goodness.
That's not discrimination. That's like
For being fat?
Yeah.
No?
It's not a protected class.
Wow.
Not a protected class. So they could get sued if they didn't let her in because she's black. That would be racial discrimination. But if she's big, being big is not a protected class. So
Okay, thankfully. And this is a bit scary because she might bring more awareness into it and they might make it a protective class, which would cause your material things to go downhill, to break, basically. And they would be allowed to do it based on their size, and that should not be okay. You should be allowed to say no if you know that your stuff can be broken.
like your race, religion, gender, that kind of thing. They don't have to give you a ride. Yeah, she doesn't have a claim. No claim. It just seems like a money grab and some attempt at getting some sort of attention.
Honestly, I don't even think she's gonna grab any money out of it. I think it's just attention because she is in the rap business and she wants to bring more. Like any type of fame is good fame for people like her.
She doesn't have a car? She should walk.
Just have to say it.
He's a man, yeah.
Thank you for stopping by.
He's a man! I think
He's a man and we all know he's a man. And because of him, thankfully, we don't have to deal with stuff like that anymore.
these little things, these little kind of, these moments that totally just break the argument.
Are you a biologist?
Oh my God, don't be ridiculous. No, I'm not a vet, but I know what a dog is.
I'm not a vet, but I know what a dog is. That is so true. Like, you don't have to have a profession to know simple matters like that. This is simple. Like, ask a child, what's a man and what's a woman? Point at a man and point at a woman. Once they hear them, once they see them, they know. They can differentiate. They don't have to be a biologist to know that.
Breaks the spell. Means that everybody can just kind of laugh, repeat, say it, talk about it. It totally changes things.
Yeah, queen. Period.
Period.
Yeah, period, bitch.
Yes.
Go,
Yes.
Get over here.
Clause 2024. Listen.
Yes,
Black
listen.
refusing to crack.
And
okay?
listen.
We're going up. We're not going back.
Period. We go up. And let me tell you something.
Confused.
Look, man.
What side are you on?
Kamala Harris, bro. We don't f with none of that blue side, bro. Fuck that. We hate anyone.
What about chickens?
Well, they're sentient individuals too. I'm here to speak up for all non-human animals.
I'm just saying chickens seem like they only have one purpose, and that's to be eaten. Like, what do chickens do?
Well, that's no different to saying that black people only have a purpose to be slaves,
So,
right?
like, oh my God, when she said that, I remember
Rent-free.
seeing this one.
Genuinely rent-free.
Rent-free.
You are speaking to a white man, yet that's all you think about. rent-free, bro.
Yeah.
Genuinely rent-free. First of all, that argument doesn't mean... that argument doesn't even make sense. That argument doesn't even make sense.
Hi, I'm Scout. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm an interdisciplinary major at UBC. I'm in my last semester. My primary thematic focus is decolonizing academia and public knowledge systems, and my secondary thematic focus is biocultural and linguistic futurity.
For those who don't know what that means, can you give us a quick rundown?
Yeah, basically what I focus on is the promises that the institution has made and also the emergence of Indigenous ways of knowing and being across the discipline.
So you want us to go backwards. So your idea is to learn from Indigenous people and reshape the world based on their culture, based on their tradition, based on their well-being, but then they almost went extinct going through that, living like that. It doesn't work. It will not work. They had to get modernized. They had to kind of migrate and shift their values and whatnot in order to live and exist in the world we are living in today. It's not gonna work.
And I feature in a lot of stuff like language revitalization, or the emergent vitality of languages, rather, and just kind of a bunch of stuff.
A bunch of stuff that I don't even understand. So you want to recreate a language, you want to change the language to fit your values, renovate or whatnot, but then those values tomorrow are not going to be the same as today, and then we're going to change the language again and again and again. It's going to be a seasonal thing. That doesn't work.
I've taken courses in over 20 departments, so
okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
Question.
No, we're not answering
Why?
questions. Get
Why?
out of the car.
Why?
Because you're a Trump supporter.
I know, but don't you guys want our money?
No, actually we don't.
Oh, okay, great. Go
Get out of my bar right now.
You're not welcome.
I'm not fucking around. Get out of my bar.
Are you
I'm
serious?
dead serious. Out.
Because I'm wearing a trumpet.
Yes.
That's wild.
I don't care. Get out.
We can call the police, or you can just leave.
You know this is like discrimination, right?
Oh, boo-hoo! Boo fucking...
Victimizing themselves. But no, they are the victims. They feel harassed, they feel bullied. They are the ones that are scared for their lives. But the moment you don't agree with them, they are the biggest bullies ever. Boo-hoo, he would look at you dying and bleeding and he would be fine with it. Not only that, he will lick that blood away, because that's how he is.
Get out of my bar.
They're laughing.
First to 11, you versus Ant. Who's getting ball first? I get ball 1st. I'm going to say 11-10 me.
And young female basketballer Jersey Robinson went viral for saying that she could beat you one-on-one and the game would be 11-10. How do you think that game would go?
She said she would beat me?
She said she would beat you one-on-one if she started with the ball 11-10.
I'd let her win.
You would let her win?
Yeah.
So you would say that game would go the same, 11-10?
Girl, yeah, I'm going to let her win.
Let her win. I would let her win because he doesn't care. He has nothing
WNBA,
to
quote unquote,
prove.
not being profitable isn't an excuse for the players to not ask for the salaries that they deserve.
This is like asking your boss for a raise when the company's going out of business. And I really don't feel bad for you guys at all. You guys had the perfect opportunity when Caitlin Clark came into the league. How the NBA had Michael Jordan to blow up their league, you guys had Caitlin Clark to do that. But instead of riding with that and making her the face of the NBA, in every single game that she played in last year, the viewership tripled, along with merchandise sales. You guys decided to throw that out the window and said she was only getting this attention not for her talent and because she was pretty and that she's white. So you guys were handed a golden ticket and you just threw it out the window. If you want to complain about viewership...
I'm sorry. Men are watching your sport. Men are watching women's sport. Women don't watch sport, okay? A small percentage of women do, and they don't watch it religiously like some men do. So if a man decides to watch a women's sport, let's be honest, they want to look at a pretty thing. First and foremost, of course, they would like and appreciate a good game, but also they would like to look at a pretty thing. So if you have one pretty thing in the whole game and every other person is getting the value out of it, why would you ruin that for yourself? If especially that person doesn't mind being the center of attention because of her looks and whatnot. If she minded it, she would stop it and we would understand that. But if she doesn't mind it, let her do it. Let them cook. What is the problem? Why take away something that God gave you? Why would you take that away? Like, use it. Use any essence, anything that you, any assets you have. Use it if it is worth it, if it works for you.
Why do you have so many women fighting for the NBA that don't even watch it? How do you expect to be profitable if you have people saying that they support you and then they don't even watch you play?
Yeah.
The NBA is profitable because men like myself watch it. So if you're upset about your pay, maybe instead of complaining like this because you're only afloat because the NBA supports you guys, maybe you should have women begin to watch you more. If women really cared, they would watch you play. I really want to understand why you're asking for a raise when your league is losing money. Where's that money gonna come from then?
So you hope that
Yeah.
somebody vandalizes my...
So it's like a really sad world we are living in when you justify whatever you do, the means, like you are justifying it based on nonsense. Not like the CEO has the money already from this. Is an individual who spent their own hardworking money. So you are not doing anything to the CEO. You are harming the individual who worked hard to get a vehicle that they like. Just the fact that they are supporting the technology behind it. They like the way it looks, they like the way it drives, they like the way it feels, and they want to support that, and they want to spend their own hardworking money on that. It has nothing to do with them supporting the actual CEO. Like, at the end of the day, do you, whenever you buy one thing in your life, do you go back and back and back and back into the hierarchy to see who is the actual original owner of that thing, and then you see and question every single thing that they do and they believe in, and then when you approve of all of that, you go back, and then you pay for that product? No, sweetie, I'm sure not. Because sit down in your house and look around you, and let's question how many things you have that you don't even know who the owner is. Just because this is on blast, just because we know who is the CEO and we know exactly who the owner is, we make it justifiable and all right.
What happens when you combine soccer and dancing? It's called Disco Foot. Here's everything you need to know. Disco Foot is both a soccer match and a dance performance. It combines the basic rules of soccer, but has one rather important difference. Dancing is required at all times. Each match features one referee and 3 artistic judges. The judges assess the teams on their artistic merit, scoring them twice, first at halftime and then again at the end of the match. These scores are combined with any goals scored to determine the winning team. Remarkably, a team can win by excelling in dance, even if they haven't scored any goals.
The fuck is that, man? That's a lunatic party. Like, what the hell is that? Is that even real?
I loved and hated every second of this video.
I can't agree with him. I understand the love part when it's like, what the fuck am I watching? And like, it's entertaining, you know? Like, it's so dumb that it's entertaining. But at the same time, you're thinking, what the fuck am I watching, you know?
You need to put this in every PE class immediately. Disco foot. Like, are we for real? This is an excellent use of free will. It's giving theater kids playing sports, and honestly, I love that. Like, actually imagine this at the Olympics and losing a match and being like, well, we were up 4-0, but the other team had a break dancer. Like, Reagan would absolutely smash it in the sport.
She would.
Oh, Lord, humans are so funny.
Kind of crazy for you to assume that my girlfriend's an illegal immigrant. No, sadly, we went the legal route. Trust me, if we knew that you could just come here with no legal repercussions, we would have went that way. But again, we went the legal way. No, but I do love that's like everyone's main defense, that my girlfriend's going to get deported, assuming that she's an illegal immigrant. Because isn't that kind of racist?
You know, it's a luxury that people don't think is a luxury. It's having 0 health problems. Any day that you wake up and you feel good is a good day, because you don't really remember that until, you know, you're sick or you're injured. And you're thinking, you know what, it was pretty damn nice whenever I didn't have these things going on. So, you know, celebrate those days.
This is explicitly a women's space.
So what the fuck are you doing there, huh? What are you doing there?
I am a transgender woman, and I...
No, you're not. You're a man. You're not a woman.
I always have been. Trans women are not asking to dominate women's spaces. Most of us are far too scared.
You don't sound scared at all, brother. You sound like a really angry man, and an angry man is a scary man.
I am too afraid to pee in public bathrooms in my own city unless my girlfriends are there to scout for me, and if they are not there as backup, and not only are they playing you, they are hurting other cisgender women far more than they are hurting anyone else. It is cis women who suffer. When they crusade against my health care, they are
Why does this sound like World War II, but in a different country?
removing the consent-based health care. All women's health care, therefore, gets affected. When they try to ban us from women's bathrooms, it is black lesbian studs who get the cops called on them. My liberation is tied to everyone's. And it is only because women told me that I could say that. I have never insisted.
I'm sorry, I'm scared to put my child in the same bathroom as this guy. He's too angry and scary. I'm not sorry, actually. Nah, I don't want that. I don't want that. F that. I'll fight. Thankfully, I have a son. But if I ever had a daughter, I will fight.
It myself that I say it.
Isn't it kind of funny that now that women work, all the jobs they do are just stuff they would have done at home? Like, y'all really convince women to go take care of other people's children and other sick people and go manage other people's finances instead of just doing that for their family. And in doing so...
I'm just thinking, how did you get out that Nutella without getting the Nutella out? But I realized it went backwards, and I'm thinking about the Nutella while he is talking about something else. See, this is the problem. Like, I don't understand why you have to add these multiple videos in order for my attention span to stay in when my attention span literally gets diverted by that.
So now you people and go manage other people's finances instead of just doing that for their family. And in doing so, now you've doubled the tax base, and if they don't want to work, their husband has to work twice as hard, and also convince them that even if he is working 80 hours a week, he has to come home and do 50% of the chores. It's almost like the whole point of this was like to turn women into wage slaves and like break the American family in half by like commodifying their natural proclivities and telling them that being a stay-at-home mom is a bad idea. Now we have like half the successful marriages, half the children being born, and your dollar goes half as far. Haha, yay! But it's not all despair. Like, fellas, if you find a good girl, you should make sure that you can work as hard as you possibly can to keep her home with the kids. And ladies, by the way, if you find a good guy, which is not a guy who will use you as a human fleshlight that you met at the club, and if enough of them succeed, what does that really say about you? All that man wants is cooking, cleaning, children, and shut the up every once in a while. Oh, and don't use sex as a weapon. It's evil. If you can do those like 5 things, you're more valuable than gold. Never mind $25 an hour to look after somebody else's shitty kids. Now you get to do all these things that you like to do for your loving family who cares about you, instead of trying to do that and work for a giant corporation that doesn't care if you live or die, or being an indoctrination camp babysitter. It's actually a way better idea.
Thank you. I'm sorry, guys. Half of the video I was looking at the chocolate cakes and I couldn't really understand what he was saying. What I did understand is that we women screwed ourselves up by trying to like get this equality shit and whatnot, and now we are having to do everything plus more, and if not, then we are screwed because we are poor as fuck. And yeah, I completely understand that, but I don't think it is on women. I think it is on the whole society, and I think it is on the government, and I think it was all a play. Like, now 1 wage is not enough. 2 wages are not enough to live a moderate life. You are probably closer to being poor than being moderate or rich. And yeah, it is sad. I don't put the blame on women when it comes to that. I just put the blame on everything else. I put a blame on the whole government, the whole, yeah, fuck it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm still thinking about that chocolate.